Hey friends, welcome back. In this video, I'll go over how I would build a DeFi portfolio for generating passive income on the Fantom network. Of course, in this video, I will talk about cryptocurrencies, and it's important to remember that this is not meant to be financial advice. This is just how I would approach this myself after learning for some time about DeFi. Before I start, thank you very much for liking, subscribing, and commenting on my videos. Now, let's go. This is a snapshot of my approach here about how I would split my funds depending on the different farms I will farm into. As you can see already, I have a stable coins category, and I think this is very important, and it's something that I did not really pay too much attention when I started investing in crypto. I used to go all in and buy just crypto, and then when dips will happen, I would not have liquidity to buy more, only the outside money I could bring into crypto, and that's not good. It's always good to have something behind. There are a lot of people talking about this, and most of them are using somewhere between 10% and 30%. So for this reason, I will just go with 20% in this case, because I think it's more balanced between the two extremes, which is 10% or 30%, but this also depends on your risk tolerance as well. If you want to be more conservative, then you can go with 30%. If you want to be more risk averse, you can go with 10%, of course. And this might also be influenced by the amount you want to invest. If you're investing only $100, then doesn't really make any sense maybe to hold anything back. But if you go up to $500, then I think you should have at least $100 in stable coins. And the same if you go higher, right? The more money you have, the more stable coins allocation should be, in my opinion. And like I said, not financial advice. Cool. Now I will go into the next category, which is the large cap category. And here are the projects here are blue chips projects that are backed by a lot of people and that have shown potential. And usually in this case, because we are talking about Fantom itself, it's the blue chip. Then going to small cap coins, but that have also been proven and that are not just some crazy bets like we are going to talk here in the last category. And here would be the most vetted projects on the Fantom network. I would include here DEXs on Fantom like Spirit Swap, Beethoven, and so on. And here in the DGen category, here I will go for very high APRs, and at the same time, this should also be something to play. I will not go above 10% because this is very high risk. There is a high chance that these projects can rug pull or be hacked or something. So these are high risk, right? So it's very important to don't expose yourself too much to this. So I would go to somewhere between 5 and 10%. Now depends, like I said, on your risk tolerance, but that is what I would aim for. And of course, you can play around with all these percentages right here. This is by no means set in stone, but this is what I would use as a starting point. Now, because I told you how I am going to split this allocation, now let me show you how I am finding these projects I want to invest in. To scan the projects for the APRs or APYs, I will use Beefy.finance. And if I want to have a deeper look and find more projects that are not on Beefy, I could also use DeFi Llama and here choose Fantom Network and here go and find different platforms. But mainly the most vetted projects are here on Beefy. What is not on Beefy already, then most probably it's high risk. Cool. Now here, if you are connected with MetaMask, you need to choose the Fantom network, as you can see it here, and you will be able to see everything right here. And as you can see, I have already pre-selected this, but it's important to start fresh, so clear the filters. And now let's see. I will go here to vault type and I will choose stable LPs for the first category, right? So now let's browse Beefy and see what stablecoin farms can we find. To do that, you just click here and select stable LPs and you will find everything. And here, sort by, I will go here and sort by APY in this case, and they will sort it by the highest APY and going lower. At this point in time, the APYs have gone a lot lower. And why do you think is that? Because the crypto markets are as they are, uncertain, right? And because that is happening, a lot of people are moving their funds into stablecoins. And when that happens, the more money coming into these farms, the APY needs to go lower, right? Because there are just less money to be earned. So in this case, we can see that the highest we can have is 15.31%. And just 1 month ago, it used to be above 20%. But in this case, we see this pool right here, meme USDC, and it's on Spirit Swap for 15.31%. We can see that it has a total value locked in of $5 million, which is pretty decent. And if you want to look for other alternatives, then you have this on Curve. You will lose roughly 1.5% in the APY right here. But let's say maybe some people will trust more Curve than Spirit Swap, so that could be a trade you want to take. But I would go for this. So I would go for meme USDC, and of course we have all the drama happening with Daniele, and meme might suffer, but I still think it's safe enough to use this right here. So I would go for this. Then if you don't like Spirit Swap, or if you think it's too risky for you, you have Sushi, which you will lose roughly 2% in the APY. At the same time, if you don't want to include meme in your stable farm, then you can go with USDC MAI, but you will lose roughly 3%. Now, I see this also looks quite decent right here, only USDT with 12.31% in APY, and this has quite a lot of total value locked in compared to the other ones, and it's on Scream. So from here I will choose this and put in 20% from my funds. All right. Now, because we figured out that one, we can go on the next category, which is this one right here, large cap. And for this, I will go here and choose stables right here, because in this type of farms right here, I want a blue chip Fantom in this case with a stable coin. This is what I am looking for. And I will choose here stables, and here I will type in Fantom. And now I'll be able to see only these farms with stables and Fantom. And looking here, this is quite high, but it's not only Fantom. There are also some high risk coins like Ice and Spell, so it's not something I would like to go for in this category specifically. This one on Beethoven as well, very high APY but many tokens, and this one quite decent with a Spooky Swap or a Boo, the Boo token, very high but still not what I'm looking for. So the first one that I can see right here is this one, Fantom Die Opera, which has a 70% APY and it's on Beethoven-x. So this looks very juicy. Now the next one I can see on Sushi is this one right here with USDT and Fantom for 61% APY, and then we have USDC and Fantom, Fantom of the Opera with APY of 60%. Now let me give you another tip. I would not use Beefy. Although I like the platform and I trust it, I could say that, I just do not want to add another smart contract vulnerability to my strategy. So I'm using this platform just to browse and find the farms I want to farm into, and then I will go to those specific projects and I will farm on that. So for example, in this case, if I want to farm in this one, and I will definitely choose this one from here because it's roughly 7% between this one and the next one, and the total value locked in is not huge, but it's still somehow decent. I will go to Beethoven-x and I will deposit into this farm from there, not using Beefy. And I will auto compound myself at some intervals when I get some decent amount of tokens that will make sense to pay the gas fees for. Yeah, so like I said, from this, if you don't like DAI, then you can go for this one, Fantom and USDC. Here, close to 60%, you have more options, but this is by far the juiciest with, yeah, now it's 70%. They vary, of course, but yeah, this is what I would choose. I like Beethoven a lot, actually. I think is my favorite project on Fantom right now. I really like the interface and everything. So yeah, I will go for this one in this case. But like I said, if you want to choose, for example, let's see, the next alternative would be this one right here on Sushi with wrapped USDT. But what I don't like about this is the total value locked in is quite low. And what does that mean? Is that when it will get to $1 million, for example, this APY most probably will drop a lot. So that's why I don't like this one. And here, let's say you want to go for another DEX, you don't want to use Beethoven-x, then you look here and we see the next one with 51% $FTM. I don't know what to say about this, so I would look further on and we see DAI Fantom at 49.48%, yeah, 50% APY, and I would go for this one. If I don't like Beethoven-x and I would like to go for Spooky Swap, which is a much higher exchange than Beethoven, and we can see here the total value locked in is quite large compared to the other ones. It's close to $4 million and it's quite decent. So this would be the alternative, but you lose 20% in the APY. So I would prefer that one, but if I don't like Beethoven, I would go with this one, DAI Fantom on Spooky Swap. And it's very simple how you can do this. You go on Spooky Swap and click on farm, and here you'll be able to see, if we type in FTM DAI. But we can see at the same time that here is 44.91. But this is the APR, right? What we see on Beefy is the APY. That means that it's auto-compounding all the rewards you are getting. So here, if you are doing that manually once a week or once a month or something like that, this also should get higher after 1 year or after several months. So this is how I would go about this. Now let's see what can we use here for small cap section. There are few options right here. And most probably in this category, you can either have stablecoin with something more volatile, like in this case, like this kind of pool, Song of Ice and Fire, where you have Fantom and you have also stablecoin, which is meme, and you have Spell and Ice, which are lower, smaller caps, right? So this could be an option actually. It's pretty nice. I really like this APY right here. This one, the next one, it's also quite decent, but you have 5 tokens in it. Or if you want to go for something with less tokens in the pool, this looks actually quite decent because we have Fantom, we have USDC, which is a stable coin, and we have the Boo token, which is the Spooky Swap, which is the highest, which is the largest exchange on the Fantom network, right? So this is pretty solid actually right here. But it would have been nice to find something closer to 200% APY, but this could fit this bill right here, while this one right here could go on the last category of the degen play. So the problem with this one right here is that the total value locked in is quite low. So I'm expecting for this APY to drop more in the future as more money are coming in. Now let me remove these ones right here. So let's say I want to see what other things are here and do it by APY, and we can see these are some degen plays, but I think 2 shares and Tomb, I think it's a clone of Tomb, so not something I'm really looking into. Yeah, we can see here T-share Fantom, but this is definitely not for this one right here. So another topic that I did not said anything about is how many projects do I want to spread myself into. It's very important. I definitely do not want to spread myself too thin. So I don't want to invest in too many projects. But for example, in this instance right here, for this category or for this one, I could, for example, split it in 2. But I would definitely try to stick to maximum 5 projects for all these categories. I don't want to have more than 5 projects. So maybe this one right here for the small cap, I could split the amount in 2 and I could go 2 different ways. For example, I really like this one right here. I think this looks pretty decent. Geist Fantom with a very juicy APY right here. So I would use half part on this and I would use half part on something more stable that I think the APY won't change too much. For example, look at this Boo Fantom. It's 86% APY and the total value locked in is quite high compared to everything else. So this could be one option, and 86% it's quite significant as well. And it would be a good combination between the riskier play with Geist Fantom and this one. Now, if you think that this is too risky and this APY will drop in the near future, then another pool that I really like a lot and I have invested a big chunk of my portfolio, it's actually this one right here, Fidelio Duetto on Beethoven. Like I said, I really like this project and it has a pretty nice APY if you are reinvesting the rewards. So I would choose either this one or Geist Fantom. The APY is definitely juicier for this one right here. So I think I will give it a shot. So maybe I would split half into this and half into this right here. Now, this goes back to your risk tolerance. If you want to be more conservative, you go with Boo Fantom. That's definitely the play. Or Joe Fantom, which is quite decent as well. It's over 100 APY. There are these 2 options right here. So maybe these are actually the right place and use the other ones in the degen place, right? This is an option. You could go with this more conservative approach, go for Joe Fantom, for example, or Boo Fantom on Spooky Swap, or go with this more aggressive approach, Fidelio Duetto, or this 2 right here. Both of them are pretty decent. Geist Fantom or Scream Fantom. So here I would go depending on your risk appetite, like I said. Personally, I think I would go mostly with the riskier ones. Like I said, I am invested already into this and I really like how it's going so far. But some people might consider that too risky, so you could go for this in the degen category, right? Personally, maybe the best decision is just to split this, put half into Fidelio and Geist and half into Joe Fantom or Boo Fantom. And then we have the degen play. And here I will clear all APY. And here we have these crazy APYs. I would not go for this. If I would go for this crazy right here play, I would not go for more than 5% at best. I don't know anything about this project, and my experience with Ohm forks, for example, has been very negative. I just burned money on all Ohm forks, including Wonderland Time. So my appetite for this kind of projects is very low right now. And I would skip this, to be honest. I would not go for something like this. T-share Fantom, this is something I still stake, I am still doing. So you could go for that. So yeah, let's wrap it up and let's say that for this degen category, I would use this. But if you are more conservative, then you could use Geist Fantom or Scream Fantom in this category right here. So this depends a bit on you. Now let's summarize. Here, I think it was meme USDC. So in the stablecoin pool, we'll have 15% APY on the meme USDC liquidity pool. On the large cap, we would have roughly 70% APY on Beethoven-x in the DAI Fantom liquidity pool. Here on the small cap, for the more conservative approach, Joe Fantom pool or Boo Fantom pool on SpookySwap. Or if you are more risk averse, you could go with this one right here, Fidelio Duetto or Geist Fantom liquidity pool, which have much higher APR. Or for this Fidelio Duetto, actually you have this alternative Beats Fantom, which has the same tokens, but the difference right here is that you will have 50% Fantom and 50% Beats, while in Fidelio Duetto you have 80% Beats and 20% Fantom, so you have more exposure to this token right here. That's why the APY is higher, because it's riskier. Meanwhile, here you have more Fantom. So maybe to just make a mix between all this right here, I could just go for this one, Beats Fantom on SpookySwap, pretty decent 180 APY for this category, small cap right here. And in the degen play, depending on how risk averse you are, I could go with Geist Fantom or Scream Fantom, one of these. And if you are more risk averse, you could go with T-share and Fantom. Yes, and I think I covered all of them. Now, there is no right or wrong, so it's only what fits you. Just go with the projects you like and you are confident in. There is no one size fits all here, and these percentages right here, like I said, should be flexible depending on your situation and your risk appetite. Now it's time that you leave me a comment and tell me how would you construct your DeFi portfolio on the Fantom network. Thank you for watching and see you next time.